Shema Yasharala Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Shema Yasharala Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Shema Yasharala Yahweh Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Kal Halalimla Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachaha Korash. Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. We have a lot of fans here in the UK. A lot of the Edomites, a so-called white man, are fans of Trump, and a lot of these Edomites are saying that they weren't fans of Trump first, but now they're eating humble pie and they quite envy Trump because Trump is a person that's not just a sayer; he's actually a doer. He means what he says and he says what he means. And a lot of there's obviously going to be cloned type individuals, not literally cloned, but individuals are going to be following his suit, trying to do the same thing here, and they've been doing that same thing here. All right, we know the so-called white man, okay, has had his hands all over the world. There's his fingerprints are everywhere. He's stolen lands, raped them, stolen from it, okay, colonized it, renamed the lands through cartography, putting his flag up there, because the earth was given to him to rule for a short time. Okay, that 250th year of America is coming next year, and Esau the so-called white man, the old world, okay, from England has been ruling everywhere. All right, and these damn devils actually think that England is theirs. They have no idea this land is ours, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and the Israelites, wherever they're scattered to the four corners of the earth, pursuant to Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. Okay, and we are the largest nation on planet Earth, pursuant to Hosea 1 and 10. We're everywhere. Okay, but these damn devils are going to come after our people that they know for the most part are Israelites. These devils know, they like to keep meticulous records of everything. They know where Jake is. That's why if you see lands that have been, have had heavy drug use over the last 30, 40 years, and those specific lands are quite, those people are quite lively and they're warrior like, and regardless of how they look and what kind of customs they follow, they're quite lively and very, warrior like, and you know and even though they follow a different doctrine pursuant to Romans 10 verse 2, that they have, paraphrasing, they've got a form of righteousness towards the Lord, but not according to knowledge, right? They know, these devils know where Israelites are scattered. Okay, they know. Hence the reason why I'm going to go into a tangent right now. Hence the reason why they demonize the Italians so much in early shows and movies, as well as the Irish. You know, you got to understand these things when they never focus on the real gangsters, the Ish people, the small hands, the tunnel diggers, Amalek, the head tribe of Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, the people, the 1948ers, that people like to wear those black hats on their head and say Hashem, Hashem all the time. The ones that have the hook noses, the bagel eaters. All right. Now back to the fact of the matter here. The so-called white man. Okay, he went around the world raping and pillaging, taking from everyone. And now when he created his empire by depleting those specific lands like India, Jamaica, West Africa, many countries within Africa alone. Okay, India, Australia, America, China. All right, wherever they set their foot, they stole from. Okay, because the so-called white man, Esau, they had 120 provinces, according to the British Empire. They went there, they took it, they took what they wanted, they subjugated the people, put them in slavery. Okay, and then the children of Israel, they put in hardcore bondage and slavery, chattel slavery or cattle slavery. Okay, so these lands that are called third world today, Latin America and all that, why is it called a third world? Because the so-called white man raped it and depleted all the wealth. And those individuals that are in America, the so-called native Indians, the tribe of Gad, the Latinos, or the Northern Kingdom Israelites, because the Northern Kingdom are larger than the Southern Kingdom. There's 9 tribes amongst the Northern Kingdom tribes, native Indians and Latinos, right? And Esau is taking out the native Indians out of America, saying that they're illegal too, and they're indigenous to the land. And they were there when these damn devils came over. The gall of this cracker, man, this Edomite. And they're going to come after you Haitians, you West Indians too. Just watch. They're going to come pull out some kind of rule book, the way they change the rules and everything, even sports, for example, because the Israelite man, the so-called black, Hispanic, and native is so brilliant as they are in everything innovative and sports and music and anything and everything they put their hands to. And the spirit of power of Yahweh Shemeshah, the Lord has blessed them, blessed our people. Okay? Like, for example, in sports, they change the rules. You can't do this, you can't do that. Why? Because the so-called white man can't compete because they're a bunch of fucking weirdos. They're losers, even in their own rulership. The same way Esau, the so-called white man, is going to change in his so-called rule book. Okay? They got their own Bible on the left-hand side, their own rule book, their own rules and regulations they follow. When I say Bible, I'm talking about that, like we have our statutes and commandments that we follow or try to follow at least to as close as we possibly can. Right? These damn devils have what they have on their left-hand side. Okay, they keep changing their rule book. All right, to suit their agenda. And they're going to come after all the Jakes. Then they're going to come after you, more than likely the African Americans too, with the tribe of Judah, the head tribe. They're going to come after the tribe of Judah hard. I don't know what kind of situation they're going to pull out. They're going to start saying that you were brought over here, now we're sending you back, and we're going to give you some money to go back. I don't know whether, or they're going to say, okay, I don't know, they're going to get all the so-called African Americans, the Judites, put them on maybe on a certain island, with poison water. I don't know how they're going to do it. With poison food and water, just leaving them on an island and set that island ablaze or something, because Esau's going to try. Because listen, the devil's going to come down hard, pursuant to Revelation 12, verse 12. Esau, this fucking white motherfucking cracker, right? Salakia, man, I had to let that out. I'm so pissed off. I hate these crackers, man. And I've been hating these cracker motherfuckers for a long time, man. Before I came to this truth, I always knew about the colonial history and I hated them. I hate them with a passion. Okay? Now, since 2018 and prior to that, there's been this Windrush scandal. Now I'm focusing on the tribe of Benjamin. They're going to go for the Nigerians too. They're going to go for the Israelite foreigners, okay, because they know where Jake is scattered. And most Israelite foreigners, like the bulk of brown people. We got Northern Kingdom here too. We got Brazilians, Portuguese, etc., etc., etc. Right? They're going to come for them too because they're immigrants. Okay. But right now there's like this Islamophobia thing or this Islam thing going on, and they're showing pictures of so-called black and brown people trying to cause a race war, which is going to happen here in the UK. So both lands, okay, this thing is definitely going on full throttle. Okay, and you've got all these news media channels that popped up in the last year, maybe I would see. They weren't there in 2021 or 2022 or 2023 or 2024. It's recently they've been popping up. I'm sorry, they weren't there in 2021 and 2021. I remember them creeping in 2022. Now 2023 and 2024, they're coming in hard, especially 2024. The term usual suspects. It could be bots. It could be agents just typing all this shit up as well, but they're causing it, and it's causing a stir of racial hatred. Send them back, send them back. See, but these honkies, these Edomites, these crackers need to know. These Caucasians, these Edomites need to know. You put your hands on us. Remember one thing, your kith and kin are living abroad. You so-called expats, you don't have to call yourself expats, you're fucking migrants too. A lot of you live in India, a lot of you live in the Middle East, West Asia, a lot of you live in countries in Africa. You guys are everywhere too, looking for that sort of peace of mind. And whole chunks of you are in Italy too, in Sicily. More than likely probably marrying our women out there, the Southern Italian women, because it's simple too. They'll go for Blanco in it, or who they think is God. They'll go for the ugliest cracker too. So this thing is going to kick off, man, and this is going to happen worldwide. It's going to be like a snowball Fireball effect, man. It's going to start off smaller. Match is going to be lit, and that fucking building is going to be ablaze. Spiritually speaking, in terms of like this sparks are happening. And now this is literally going to be like fire everywhere. We're not talking about the nuclear fire as yet. We're talking about just this Jacob's trouble, this nation rising against nation. Okay, let's go into the Windrush scandal. Talk about this is one of the ways they're trying to get you Jakes out. They've also said that if you are not so-called indigenous to this land in England, like these crackers think that they're indigenous to this land. They actually believe that when England is part of West Asia. All right, this is not your land, Caucasian. That's why you call yourself Caucasian. You're from the Caucasus Mountains of South Georgia, Russia. Okay, you were initially from Mount Seir. That's your land. You're the Edomites. That's why you look so fucking funny. You don't look normal. You look abnormal. Like this ugly cracker bitch. All right. The Windrush scandal was a British political scandal that began in 2018 concerning people who were wrongly detained, denied legal rights, threatened with deportation, and in at least 83 cases, wrongly deported from the UK. Now, that number is much, much larger. They're trying to make it think like it's just like a drop in the water. It's more like an ocean dropped in a pond. Okay, that's how many went back. And there was many news reports about this when this happened. Okay, the Windrush scandal was a British political scandal that began in 2018 concerning people who were wrongly detained, denied legal rights, threatened with deportation, and at least 83 cases, which is much larger. All right. Wrongly deported from the UK by the Home Office. Many of those affected had been born British subjects. Okay, remember, one time India was called British India. At one time, Jamaica, the West Indies, was called, whatever land it was called British, then the country's name. Right? And it's all under the British Empire. Like a company has satellite offices or companies or offices abroad. We got office in London. Our head office is in London, in England, but we got offices in Japan, India, Jamaica, China, America, Canada. All right? That's how the British Empire was. And they had 120 provinces or lands. All right? Many had been born British subjects and had arrived in the UK before 1973, particularly from Caribbean countries as members of the Windrush generation. So, named after the Empire Windrush, the ship that brought one of the first groups of West Indian migrants to the UK in 1948. See, they've been shipping Jake around for the last 500 years, man. From the bottoms of ships, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Yeah. I'll call you back. 1 second. I'll call you back. Okay. Salakia for that. Right? As well as those, so Jake's been shipped around, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. From country to country, from the bottom of ships, chained up, gagged up, pissing and defecating on each other, women having their monthly cycles on each other and on the men. Men being graped in there by the crackers, the Edomites, the so-called white man. The women being graped, the children being graped. Brought to lands. Okay, half them didn't even survive the trip. They were chucked overboard, being fed to sharks. Okay, then built themselves up in the lands they were when chattel slavery so-called ended. Looking at the so-called white man like they couldn't do no wrong. Like butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. And then being brought again to do all the low-level jobs in the UK that a so-called white man didn't want to do because they're so fucking lazy. All right? They don't want to work. The so-called white man don't want to work. They want benefits because they're used to, like their ancestors, used to taking and stealing. That's why the so-called white man is the biggest pocket watcher ever. That's their that's their innate nature. Salakia for the language today, I'm just real angry about this. So, named after Empire Windrush, the ship that brought one of the first groups of West Indian migrants to the UK in 1948. Jake suffered a lot, man. Crackers spitting on him, racist attacks, signs saying no blacks, no coloreds, no Irish, no dogs, or no blacks, no Indians, no Irish, no dogs. All right. As well as those who were deported, an unknown number were detained, lost their jobs or homes, had their passports confiscated. All right. So those people that came over to do the work, they were part of the empire. Okay. See, we don't ask you crackers. I'm gonna go into a tangent. As well as those who were deported, an unknown number were detained, lost their jobs or homes, had their passports confiscated, or were denied benefits or medical care to which they were entitled. Because Jake works, man. I remember a lot of the nurses that when I was a child that would come over to our school, they would check children for, hair, is it hair lice and stuff like that. They would check children for, if they're healthy, their weight, all these kinds of things. Back in the 80s when you'd get milk served every day, they don't do that no more in school. Most of the nurses were West Indian women, they were Israelite women. And they were some of the nicest women, man. I know we all downplay that, oh, Eve is this and Eve is that, but I'm talking about the older women. I'm talking in the 80s, and these women in their 40s, in the 80s. So these women grew up in a so-called normal household. They weren't ratchet. Okay, these are women in their 40s or 50s, and I'm talking about when I was a child in the 80s, like 9, 10 years old or whatever. All right? Jake was always been chilled, cool as a fan, man. So these crackers are a piece of shit always. Okay? And even to this day, most of the postmen are Jake or Israelite foreigners or Elam or Ishmael, right? Most of the same thing with the NHS, which is the National Health Service, and all the dentists and all that kind of stuff and doctors. Most of them are Elam, Israelite foreigners, as well as West Indian man, and a whole lot of Judites from Nigeria too, because their mofo's are very, very skilled and educated. They're not tainted by, you know, because a lot of them stayed in. Okay, I'm not going to go into the history part. I want to start going into a tangent. A lot of them are very skilled. All right, they run the show here. They make England the churn. All right, the so-called white man doesn't do shit. Okay, as well as those who were deported, and a known number were detained, lost their jobs or homes, had their passports confiscated, or were denied benefits or medical care to which they were entitled. Okay. A number of long-term UK residents were refused re-entry to the UK. A larger number were threatened with immediate deportation by the Home Office. All right. Now, you can check this out yourself. It's on Wikipedia. The basic information, of course. All right. The Windrush generation arrived in Britain as British subjects. They arrived as British subjects. Why did the Windrush scandal happen? Commonwealth citizens were affected by the government's hostile environment legislation, a policy announced in 2012, which tasked the NHS, landlords, banks, employers, and many others with enforcing immigration controls. It aimed to make the UK unlivable for undocumented migrants and ultimately push them to leave. All right, creating more loopholes. But they were British subjects, and a lot of them had their passports confiscated and their paperwork taken away, and then still say that they were undocumented. They're doing the same thing. Look at the tribe of Gad, the Native Americans in India, the Native Americans in America. It's their land, and they're saying that they don't belong in that land. They're illegal. Can you believe that shit? Right? I was about to say something, just lost, enforcing that. Yeah, let's keep going. I forgot what I was going to say. There's something in my mind. Because of many of the Windrush generation arrived as children on their parents' passports, and the Home Office destroyed thousands of landing cards. The Home Office destroyed thousands of landing cards and other records. Many lacked the documentation to prove their right to remain in the UK. The Home Office destroyed it. The so-called white man likes to keep meticulous records of everything. To this day, they know the names of the slaves that are on the ships, just to keep record that okay, yeah, those are Israelites. All right, but just to cause this shit, they got record. They got rid of all a lot of the landing documents and other records to prove their right to remain in the UK. Because this is all being built up to this point where they're gonna get rid of people. Yeah, Brakti Habashim Yashai came back to my mind, and also those that are not so-called indigenous to the land. Okay, so if you're not a so-called white man in this country, not the so-called white man, by the way, is not indigenous to the UK. All right, this is not their land. This is the so-called black man's land, Hispanic man's land, Native. Well, this Israelites' land. Put it that way. All right, and the Israelites are not crackers. They're not Edomites. All right, they're saying that the people, basically, they're saying the people of color, right? If you do something wrong, something small, you're going to be deported. You do some kind of crime, you're going to be deported. It could be something minor, like defending yourself, for example. Your loved ones. All right, I'm not talking about some scum two-third drug dealer. All right, Lord willing, Jake, who comes to his senses, gets out of that bullshit. But if you're just a scummy two-third drug dealer punk, you know, you can get deported. I don't give a shit about you, you know. But those Jakes are actually trying hard. They're being deported too. So they're trying to get every kind of loophole just to get rid of people out of the UK. All right. And then on top of that, they've been doing that, but they've been bringing a whole lot of people in as well at the same time. All right. So it looks like they're trying to do something, but at the same time, they're bringing a whole lot of people in. Okay. So my thinking is now, if they do take the so-called West Indians, the tribe of Benjamin, back, where are they going to go back to? Jamaica, right? Okay, so Jamaica or the West Indies, okay, the islands are there. So what they're trying to do is get all Jake gathered together and make the island like a massive prison cell and do something there. Like have all their torture centers there and there's guillotines and all that shit. But they're going to have it here too because they're not going to get rid of all of Jake. Because remember, the Israelite foreigners are here too. You know? And you've got other Israelites that have all their paperwork. And in a time where most information is kept digitally, these motherfuckers didn't even have that. So they're probably lying just to get rid of Jake or just to cause this commotion. You know? Either way, it's just news just to make the people that want this to happen, the low level Edomites saying, yeah, get them niggers out, get them wogs out, get them, get them gollywogs out, get them coloreds out, get them packies out. Elam I don't give a shit about. I give a shit about Jake though, that's amongst them. You know? But that's what they want. The people at the top, they know what they're doing. It's causing an upheaval. So people get pissed off. If this was happening to the so-called white man right now, what would you think they would do? They would pick up arms and do something about it. Okay? But Jake is still docile. Jake is still docile, man, like that cowering lion in The Wizard of Oz. But the tribe of Judah, the Lion of Judah is going to wake up, man. The Home Office also placed the burden of proof on individuals to prove their residency predated 1973. The Home Office demanded at least one official document from every year they had lived here. Attempting to find documents from decades ago created a huge and, in many cases, impossible burden on people who had done nothing wrong. See, those are curses. These are the curses. All right? Wherever we go, man, the Lord said the curses will follow us. Cursed in the city. Let's go to that scripture. Cursed in the... My internet gets slow. It gets extra slow when I'm making a video. This is crazy. Look at that. Deuteronomy 28 verse... let's go to the... 28. Deuteronomy 20, verse 13. Where is it? 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, cursed shalt thou be in the field, cursed shalt thou be thy basket and thy store, cursed shall thou be thy fruit of cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, and in the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. That's why we do Psalms 121 prayer, to counteract this. So we're covered when we go in and out of the house. All right. But this is referring to, when we were in the city, when we were in the field during slavery days, or even if whatever we're doing, even if it's field based work. All right. Or in the city. Okay. Our food, our storage of food, or even going to the store. Literally these days, you can get deleted by the coppers, by racists, by T people, like that Jake, who was a postman in America, in New York, got deleted by a flip flop, a Tranny. Cursed shall thou be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land. Your children. The increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Everything will be cursed. Land, flocks, children, going in and out of the house. All right. So even if you grafted in the UK, you gave it your all, you're law abiding, you created a life for yourself, you brought a second home, your retirement plan. So you got a pension coming, well, you got a pension coming in, and you got couple of grand coming in extra for you and your missus, while your children live their lives. That's been taken away too. But that's got to happen because our kingdom's coming. Okay, it's not just like we're going to be hammered down and hammered down. The Lord ain't going to take these crackers out. They don't have long left. This is the reason why they're coming hard, and they're going to go harder. All right, they're going to go harder, and this is what it's coming down to. And this is not just for the West Indians. It's coming back down to all. All right, coming down to all. They're coming out with this Islam. They get rid of the Muslims, this and the third. But when these crackers start attacking, they're not going to care, because if you're of color, they say, how are they going to know that if you're Muslim or not? Unless you've got a breakfast bowl on your head and a beard and a shaved off mustache. But they're going to attack because they know that every Muslim doesn't look like that. Doesn't have all the funny clothes that these Muslims wear. Some Muslims just look regular, short hair and so-called clean shaven, or a trim short beard or a goatee or whatever. They're going to start attacking. All right, they're going to attack anybody and everybody. Even Jake's that light skin that look kind of, oh yeah, that guy could be an Arab or whatever. They're going to start attacking. They're not going to care. And ultimately, they're using this Islam thing as a disguise. Ultimately, they're just aiming for everyone that's of color in the UK. That's all it is. All right, and they've got agents with them of other nations or whatever that are backing them up, saying, yeah, Muslims, and get rid of the Muslims or whatever. And don't get it twisted. These Muslims are fucked up, especially these Pakistani grooming gangs. All right, and I know about them. But crackers have done worse. But I'm not excusing what these Elamites have done or Ishmaelites have done. But the Edomites, so-called white man, is the worst, biggest groomer, pedophile, faggot. That's their nature. Man, for fuck's sakes, they have sex with animals. All right? Even Job said that he doesn't even want to let them sit with his flocks of dogs, because that damn devils are trying to have relations with a dog. That's their nature. You know? This is what they want to take it to. Look how happy this devil is. Make Britain great again. Somebody said MAGA, make America great again, but they said mega, make England great again. All right? Listen to this. on military planes. All right, the military's going to get heavy involved. This is going to lead to martial law as well. All right, because they're going to lead to patrolling the borders, then they're going to lead to patrolling the streets, looking for illegals. Like they said in America, the brown roundup. They look after brown people, and they're after Jake, the so-called black man, because they hate ninjas more than anything as well. Don't get it twisted. You so-called black people, all right, you Israelites from Southern Kingdom that don't know that you're Israelites. You going against the Northern Kingdom and calling them spics and this, that, and that, and the third, and blah, 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 and you get out of my country. They're indigenous to the land, Jake. Just like you did a lot in America. You built America, the Southern Kingdom, but the Northern Kingdom are indigenous to the land, Jake. All right, this rivalry between Jake has to stop. It's going to happen because it's basically the two-thirds wiping out other two-thirds. Deuteronomy 28:54, man. The eyes shall be evil towards each other, innit? It's frustrating. It hurts, but it's got to happen. All right. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. Let's just go to the comments. Some of the comments. Make England great again. I was no fan. I just mentioned this. I was no fan of Trump last time. Now I'm eating humble pie. An absolute Trump envy. Trump just doesn't just talk about it. He gets on and gets it done. Unlike the windbags we have here. Basically, that's the UK. I'm an Englishman living in the States. I absolutely love Trump. My England is long gone. We need a MAGA movement. This is a honky cracker from here living in the States, in the land of Gad. He goes, my England is long gone. We need a MAGA movement here. See, these so-called white people want to take over lands which they don't belong to, like England and the UK. They want to, they think they can go back to those days where, Jake can be walking by and if they smile, they've got to put their head in a bin or some kind of container to hide their smile. If this so-called white bitch, cracker hoe or some cracker is coming down the pathway, they've got to jump off the street. You know? They're trying to take it back to that level. It ain't going to happen, cracker. The UK needs Donald Trump. Make Britain great again sounds like a movement. Make it so your American cousins are cheering for you. You crackers all going to get it, man. Bring back British values and culture. You don't have a culture, devil. What's your culture? Some Indian guy put here. What is British values? Killing, raping, looting? If not, what is? Kindly educate us. I got to thumb that up. He's right. Somebody thinking outside the box. He could be a Jake. What is British values? You should have said, what are British values? Killing, raping, looting? If not, what is? Kindly educate us. Your brothers and sisters in America are praying for you. Take your country back. More Edomites there. Look at that. Let's see what he says. Anything else? I'm just going to go to commercials. All right. I don't want to play too much of that. Actually, you know what? Skip that crap. Let me see what this says. This is like giving somebody a semi-permanent, a semi-holiday. I don't know how we would phrase it. Like we can work from home in comfort, especially with office jobs and the technology that we have. I thought this is supposed to be a technological age. You know, shouldn't people be trying to save their money or instead of using office space? So this makes it kind of real because in terms of when Yahushua returns, the world will be back to so-called a little bit of a hustle bustle, even though it's still diminishing. The light is diminishing. There will be a little bit of hustle bustle. People will be working, and people would want to work because when this financial system crashes and the charagma, the CHIP comes in, Revelation 13:16, they're going to, they want to work and hold on to it because when the Lord returns, a lot of people have said, people are out and about, clubbing or whatever, and working, and the Lord returned. So And there was also Trump just taking away people's comfort, you know. And there's a lot of posts on LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, about people, the benefits of uh, working remotely, or at least in a hybrid role where you're partially in the office. He's just trying to take away people's comforts. He's trying to piss people off, because you know how the so-called white man gets. You take away, I'm gonna, because they're already struggling with money. They're already struggling with money, and then they've got to spend, I don't know, another $100 a week, $150 a week on fuel. That's $700 a month just on fuel. Then on top of that, you got to, you got to buy work clothes where, if you work from home, all you got to do is wear a cheap dress shirt that looks okay on camera, and you can wear like shorts. No one's going to see the bottom half. If you do have a meeting, you know, people even mention that. You don't have to buy lunches. You don't have to buy tacky work clothes. You know, and people like their own space. And people people like working comfort. And then on top of that, people are saying that you're denying getting you can get talent from all over the world, and you're denying talent from all over the world joining your company and just having people work within the city that are close to you. When there's a talent pool all over the world. So there's a lot of pros and cons to this. But ultimately, what Trump is trying to do is just take away people's um, what's the word? Yeah, work-life balance. They call it work-life balance. And a lot of people are going to get pissed off, and this is going to cause a big upheaval where people are going to leave certain companies and join different companies, and this, that, and the third. It's just basically he's just causing like he's just shaking things up is the word I would say, or the words I would say. Is that federal workers? Is anyone doing that? Federal workers? Why is everyone cheering? Oh yeah, because they want the world back how it used to be prior to the C-19. Eh. Well, America ain't going to be like that again. That's for sure. It's not going to go back to the Miami Vice days. You know, ain't going to go back to that. Federal. See, you got a lot of people following this. This is 5 days ago. This is GB News, 19K thumbs up, and it's going to lead to a big, you know, there's going to be a big outcry. Things are going to get shook up. A lot of people are getting pissed off. You know, I was on the train, a while back. If you've gone to the city of London, and everybody was brown. I remember, man, going to the city in the 80s when I was a child. You saw a few fair of Edomites everywhere, a good bunch. Now you hardly see them anymore. Where are all these crackers gone? See, you know what it is. You so-called white people need to understand. You start this bullshit over here and in America. We know your relatives live abroad. You have no way to go to. Do you actually think that you can go to a home country with brown people? They're going to take you in. You're going to get juked up, whichever town or city you're in at night. Thailand, the Philippines, India, the Goa, the beach tourist area where your white women like to go and get dicked down by those Goan men, those South Indian men. Who a lot of them are Jake, by the way, because they have Portuguese surnames and Spanish surnames. Some of them are Jake, some of them are Elon. You know, you know. You like to go to the West Indies. You like to live in the West Indies. You like to live in Mexico. You think ain't gonna happen to you, you Edomites? You want to do this? Do this. Remember one thing: you can't go abroad. Then you're not going to be welcomed anywhere you go. This is not going to just be like, oh, we want to keep the lands that we stole, so-called white, but we can still travel and live everywhere we want to go and call ourselves expats, not migrants. It's going to come back to you. Okay. With every action, there's a reaction, so-called white man. Remember that, Esau. It's cool though. Do it, because this is what's going to happen. Yahweh Shemashah is going to be on the elect side, and Hey, do your thing. We know things are going to turn up. Jake knows that things are going to turn up. All right. And we, the elect like this because the elect want to go home, whoever they are across the four corners of the earth. Let's go to some scriptures and I'll just finish off, yeah? Jeremiah 30, verse 7. This is going to be the most worst time in history and it's going to come soon. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who's going to be saved out of it? That's the elect. All right? Jacob's trouble is going to be everyone's trouble. Remember that. All right? Everyone's trouble. But Jacob is the primary target. Hence the reason why they went for you during C19 when that disease started in Wuhan with the gooks, with Moab. But they started coming for, the blacks, Hispanics, and natives. How come they didn't say, the East Indians, Arabs, Chinese, Japanese, the Samoans, you know? Why didn't they say them? But why the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives? Why? Because you're the Israelites. They want to give it to you. They want you to give you the wacky-tacky snake juice to kill your pineal gland. So they think that they can get the elect like that. But the elect can't be... listen, if someone's sealed from the foundation of the earth, you can't get them. You can get the two-thirds, yeah. You can kill off their pineal gland because they don't have a connection to Yahweh Shem Yashai anyway. But you can't get the elect. They think they're going to they can get the elect and kill off their pineal gland so they won't have no connection with Yahweh Shem Yashai, so they won't get spiritual power. That's what some of these devils think. Or they can eliminate Jake like that, so they won't have to go into slavery. And now with this thing happening, yeah, who's the primary target? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. All the migrants that came in, they focus on the who? The Hispanics, the Haitians, Jamaicans, or whatever. And the worst kicker of all, the native Indians, man, who are indigenous to the land, who were there prior to the so-called white man. They're saying they're illegal. You don't have enough paperwork. Even your cards that say that you are from a specific tribe or whatever. That paperwork doesn't count. You know, it's not valid paperwork. You know, like all the way the Home Office here in the UK got rid of all the landing cards of the West Indians of the Windrush generation. That was supposed to be British subjects, but they were deported. Yeah. So my spiritual theory is that they're just trying to get Jake into a secluded, like into a sort of concentrated area where they can get all the Israelites, you know, and like make especially the islands, of the West Indies. They can like make like huge prison, like huge prisons, you know, and have their torture centers there, man. However they do it, but Esau's doing it, man, and they're doing everything they do is strategic. They don't do nothing for no reason. All right, and they're gonna get busy. Romans 10:13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. It's not everyone. Whosoever is the Israelites. Okay? For whosoever, all right, shall call upon the name of the Lord. Because remember one thing, the name of the Lord is only given to as the Lord says, mine elect. The election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Okay? The rest, meaning the two-third Israelites, and obviously the heathen, they're blinded anyway because they believe in the wacky tacky Jebus, the so-called white man, and they call on God and Christ and all that shit. Celebrate Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving. Be homos, fags. They be celibate, don't touch a woman, but they'll deal with little boys all day long. Deal with dogs and all that. Cuck out their wives if they do have one. They're just fags. They're just weirdos. They don't have the name of the Lord, and they're not Israelites. The name of the Lord, the people that call on the name of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yeshua, that will be saved are Israelites. Romans 10:13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. And the elect are going to need the name of the Lord. Acts 4:12. There is only one name under heaven that we must be saved. And that's the name of Yahweh Hashem Yeshua. And the elect are going to use that name. Okay? We're going to put all our eggs in one basket. There is no plan B, C, D, E, F, whatever. There's plan A or numero uno. And that one plan is Yahweh Hashem Yeshua. That's our only way. And we don't want no other way. There's nothing in this world, man. It's all bullshit. Okay? We want the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yashar's rulership on this planet Earth and beyond. We want to be in subjection, in righteousness to our power, man. You know? We want Him to control us, put the laws, statutes, commandments in our body, in our souls and minds, renew our spirit, give us energy, power, spiritual power. We want to be doing His work for Him. We want to be serving our Lord, man. We want to be in the temple on the Shabbat day, man, in the kingdom. We want to be doing things like that. I even think of meditate upon that, how beautiful that's going to be, how beautiful the temples are going to be. You know? Romans 10:13, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. The name is Yahweh Bashim Yashai. Right? Psalm 55:16. As for me, I will call upon the Most High Yahweh, and no, as for me, I will call upon the Most. As for me, I will call upon God. Okay. As for me, I will call upon the Most High, and the Lord, capitals Yahweh, but we say Yahweh Bashim Yashai, shall save me. Okay. We'll call him Yahweh Bashim Yashai, man, and the Lord will save us. Okay. The Lord will save us because we're going to need saving. We're going to need saving because we're coming to a point where there's going to be 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16. You know, people are going to be bum rushing each other. There's going to be commiserating, talking, you know, sedition. People coming against the powers that be, the government. Okay? And this nation is going to rise against nation. There will be race wars, man. Matthew 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. All right? We already got people that are not even in America and they're talking down upon America. They talk about how America shouldn't even have a mouth to even talk about human rights when they've treated the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man like SHIT. Who are they to talk? You know? A lot of people don't like America, man. And even so-called white people say it, that when they go abroad, they're not liked. All right? I've seen British white people, so-called British white people, go Thailand and Philippines and all that, get beaten up, their whole families, because so-called locals don't like them. Local women don't like the so-called white men in Thailand. One of them touched their backside or whatever. 3, 4 women, real women, by the way, not one of them flip-flops, band together, and this cracker was drunk, and they beat the shit out of that cracker, man. Hamites getting beaten up. And this thing's going to get worse and worse and worse, man. Well, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And we already know that pestilences are being created. They were talking about some new kind of disease. All right? Famines. You know, they already talk about like no eggs, you know, in certain parts of America or whatever. Certain meats and prices gone through the roof. People can't afford it. People have to cut down. People don't go out anymore because everything's so expensive. Famines, pestilences, earthquakes. You know, that's been happening in diverse places. You know, in every single country. You know, fires and all that. LA, Hawaii. People don't care about each other. Women getting raped on trains. People just watching and recording. People don't care. In the 80s, you think that would have happened? A woman being raped on a train. Some wannabe hero would have stepped up and said, yeah, leave that woman alone, and probably even risked his life to save her, maybe even get deleted in the process. He'd probably be a dumbass Jake. You know, Jake wants to protect. Hey, man, she's a female. Leave her alone. And listen, there's nothing wrong with protecting a female. If the Lord puts a spirit on a man or a Jake to protect a female, you know, that's because the Lord wants that woman to be protected. But in this case, this woman got raped, or women have got raped. People are being beaten up in the street. Elderly people are being beaten up. Children are being punched in the face, randomly stabbed by crazy women and men in the street. You know? People are just being attacked. And this is going to go... A lot of these people have taken that juice as well. That snake piss. You know? This is going to amplify. All right? And these race wars are going to kick in. And as you know, a lot of Edomite men are marrying women of other nations. So they're going to be in a catch-22 situation. If they live in more than likely a white neighborhood or a nice neighborhood or whatever, because most ninja women, no matter what package is coming out of the 12 tribes. Even heathen women, Elamite women, Arab women, Moabite women, Ammonite women, Chinese, Japanese, East Indian, whatever, Arab women. They married, uppity crackers. And they ugly motherfuckers, most of them they marry, you know? But they marry for the dough, you know? But this everything's going to fall flat on you women too, man. Wait till these things kick off. The so-called white man is going to choose his safety over you and even your children, okay? I mean his children, because they're his seed, but they're more than likely going to look like you or some kind of more than likely melanated to a certain degree. Even if they're not, he's still going to choose his safety over you. You know, unless he's an Israelite foreigner, but he looks like a honky. That's another story. Anyway, this thing's going to kick off soon, man. All right, I've been seeing so many of these kinds of videos everywhere. They're everywhere, man. People are big fans of it. Even these Edomites that live abroad in other countries have their, in warm countries with brown people like Bali and India and the Middle East, the West Asia, so-called Middle East, and Hawaii and America, Australia, which are brown lands, right? Talking about, oh, England is destroyed, or we need a Trump here in the UK. But there's a lot of Trumps, man. Every single cracker is a Trump. They're going to follow suit because they're getting bold, you know? But this has to happen. These things have to happen for us, the hopeful elect, to get to the other side. All right? So, man, it's going to get hot and heavy real soon, and not in a good way. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Shalom.